Good afternoon, and welcome to More Than Meets the Eye. I'm your host, Blind Prime, and for today I have for you G.I. Joe Classified Series Snake Eyes Ninja Style. Now, this was the first Snake Eyes to come out, at least in the ninja style. The first Snake Eyes to come out was actually 002, the brown Snake Eyes. From what I understand, they gave him brown coloration in that one. But we're talking about number 2, which is this Snake Eyes. And he is a really cool guy. I'm going to try and explain it to you about his molding and stuff as quickly as possible. But be aware, describing things for the blind may take a little extra time than you would normally expect from your action figure review shows. So, sit back, relax, and look away from the screen. And I'll try my best to explain it to you. So, Snake Eyes here. He has some pretty cool stuff about him. But first off, I want to mention that I do whenever I do these videos, I get on the internet and I observe other reviewers and I try to figure out what have they learned that maybe I didn't recognize or didn't notice and stuff like that. And something that I noticed many talking about was either the gun or the when you put the backpack on him, it's either the gun or the sword. And I got to thinking about that, and I was like, but the bandolier he has a hole in it, and then his back has a hole in it, and the backpack can go into the back hole. And then if I scoot the bandolier off to the side a little bit and plug the sword in, then I have a sword that runs down the side of the backpack. And we're going to spin him around to showcase that. Here we go, spinning him around. And on his backpack, I have the gun, which fits terribly into an almost invisible socket on the backpack. It's just held in there with gravity and hope. And beside the backpack, I have his cool sword. It sticks all the way up. And I just wanted to make sure that y'all knew that. If you take his little bandolier and you shove it off to the side, you could put a sword in it. And it's not a very... it's a decently stable position. Like, I can move him around from the sword. I can't do that from the gun on the backpack. If I move him and any of it with the gun on the backpack, if I sneeze near it, breathe near it, that gun's going to fall off the backpack. But, man, he's always so back heavy with the backpack. All right, so we're going to take the gun off his backpack so that doesn't collapse and talk about it real quick. The gun is a very unique gun, at least in the sense of I haven't really experienced a gun like this in the G.I. Joes, except with Commando Snake Eyes, where he has something similar to this gun, but it's a little bit bigger. This is a more compact version of the gun that comes in Commando Snake Eyes. And of course, it's got a peg on its back, which is really nice, and that's a very unique thing to have. And this means that it also can be stolen by Cobra Troopers, and you can just attach this on a Cobra Trooper's back, like you can with the Cobra Coil cycle. The two guns on that can easily fit on the back of one at a time on the backs of your Cobra Troopers, and they can just steal all sorts of weapons and put them on their backs. Cobra Troopers have really cool ability to do that. But all right, that's enough about this gun. The molding's good on it. It's a gun. It's got some decent molding. Nice shoulder clasp. You'd actually put a shoulder in that with the butterfly joints, and that's really cool. We're going to set the gun off to the side. We'll move on to his backpack, because as I talk about him, I'm just going to disassemble him, and we'll take the backpack off. Now, this backpack's got some really great molding across it. You've got some straps. You've got pockets that are bulging with stuff. Well, he's got so much stuff in here, apparently. And in the middle of the two pockets, like, you feel this crease at the top where he's got his top loadout area, and then there's this bottom area that has these two pockets that obviously hold like magazines for his submachine gun. Right between them is a slit, and that's where you can plug your weapon in at. And it just really, really sucks. It's not as good as the Beachhead version, which means the Beachhead was later, so this was the previous style to the Beachhead. And there's even something round in here, on the corner area, like he stored a teapot in there or something. which wouldn't surprise me. Maybe that's his canteen dish I'm feeling poking through the bag a bit. But we'll set that off to the side. Oh, I did want to mention that this bag is textured in canvas, which I thought was really cool. You could definitely feel the canvas texturing of the backpack. All right. Now we're going to move on to his sword and bandolier combo, which the bandolier and the sword have the same texture when it comes to the pebble molding style of leather. So they're meant to kind of go together like that. Oop, knocked the sword off, but we're talking about it now. So the sword sheath has this really cool smooth area at the bottom, which I'm assuming is metal. Like, you put a metal tip on your sheath so that the sword doesn't just break through the sheath if you were to put it in too hard. And that's what she said. And up here above, we have uh, this leather pebbling style of texture above the smooth steel style of texture that we have for the bottom of the sheath. And then on either side of the sheath, we have these, stitching. It's got stitching up its sides. And it's just, wow. They included the stitching. And then we can pull the sword out, and the sword is a slightly curved katana. It does have this weird bump in it. I don't know what that's about. I can't figure out if that's supposed to be there or if that's a straight up flaw in the structure of the sword. I have no idea why it has this bump towards the end, but it does come down nicely. It's got a nice sword feel to it when it comes to the textures. It's very smooth and sleek. And down here on the bottom, right before you get to the crossguard, you actually have that thickening of the sword texture into, if you ever held a real life katana or any sort of sword, you'll notice that the bottom area of the blade is thicker, and it feel because it's the original steel, and the blade was moved and created from a steel block, and or a steel bar. And what you have at the bottom of the blade is the remnants of that steel bar, where the blacksmith or the foundry will stamp the type of steel and other type of maker's marks. And actually, with my fingertip, I can feel stuff in there that's textured. So I'm wondering if there may actually be words stamped into the bottom of this blade area down here, or if this can just be a weird texture. You guys let me know. Are those words in that area? I don't know. Anyway, we close up the sword, and close it up wrong. We gotta close it up this way. Wait, yeah, that's the right way. The handle of his sword isn't like a traditional katana, where a traditional katana would be wrappings that go all the way around. This is a molded handle that's most likely molded to directly fit. If Snake, in the show and stuff, this would be molded to fit Snake Eyes' hands properly. So this is Snake Eyes' sword. This is nobody else's sword. There are many like it, but this one is his, and it's actually molded to his grip so that he can hold it better. So, alright, that's enough about the sword. I really like the sword. I find it really cool that the sword comes with such a unique sheath that covers the entire blade. There's none of the blade sticking out at all. That's really, really cool. And we'll spin him around. On the front of his bandolier, he's got these bullet casings. He's got 1, 2, 3, 4 bullet casings there. And then down here, he's got what feels like grenades. He's got tiny grenades, 1, 2, 3 grenades, which most likely are smoke bombs or flashbangs. And molding wise, on his chest area, it's very tight, what feels like leather or maybe cloth wrappings that wrap around him. So you can feel all of his muscular structure, except where the wrappings are a bit thick around his upper body area. And his lower abdomen area is very smooth, and there is texture there, like a roughness of fabric, but it's very tight across his muscular. So you can feel all of his muscles, which is really neat. There's very few of the G.I. Joe classified figures that you can actually get in there and feel some of the muscles. I think that's a cool little feature. And his back, they didn't skimp on the texturing there either. He's got a nice back texturing that goes all the way down his backbone. They're really cool. I don't know why the it would be sunken into where his backbone is. I think that, if you're doing a fabric, it would stretch across there more than sink into the muscular there. But whatever, it can be skin tight. And he's got a cool belt around his waist. It's actually got a little belt buckle, but it doesn't unbuckle. It's just cool texture, and it's also got the same leather texture as the harness and his sheath for his sword. His arms have wrapping texture, like they are either strips of leather that he's wrapped together for his outfit or something. But his outfit is definitely unique in its textures and how they're folded on top of each other. Like it's a very loose outfit that he then tightens up with straps. But he's got a strap that has a little pocket on it on his upper arm on his right side and his left side that kind of hold together a bunch of fabric. You can feel a bunch of folds in there around those straps. And then on his lower arms, you have some nice forearm bracers, which will help protect him. And his hands have the articulation to move up and down, not side to side, and both of them do that, and that will make for easier melee activity. And he also has double jointed elbows, which is always nice to have, especially on a figure this size. Now onward to his head, we have a really smooth head sculpt that is traditional of Snake Eyes. He's got that skin tight face mask thing that he wears, and then across his eyes you can feel that he's got his traditional Snake Eyes Gordy LaForge style eye band. It goes all the way around. It's very like a thin sunglass or something, but it's just the pieces of metal that go across that he can look between. But these stop anyone from like trying to slice his face open, because a sword strike that goes across his face would actually hit that bar first, and that would protect the rest of his head from a direct hit with a sword. That's pretty neat. Now let's get down to his legs. We got some really cool texturing going on all the way down his legs. We've got this layers of fabric texturing. Like, he was wearing some very loose fitting pants, and he just twisted them around his legs until he could, at the very bottom, right above the boot, we feel knots and stuff. What feels like knots, at least. And it's my thought on this, at least, that this is where he's taken all of the loose fabric and he's twisted it together and knotted it up right above his boots, so that his lower legs can be free from any of this fabric, but it's still loose enough to give him plenty of maneuverability. And he's got knee pads that are very smooth and sleek, and he's got decent boots, though I do say that I wish they were a bit wider. That would help keep him more stable. Things, and of course we've got his two sheaths, which I forgot to talk about. We've got his pistol and his silencer, which goes on the submachine gun, not the pistol, on his right hip, which is very similar to the same stuff that we found on Commando Snake Eyes. And then on his left hip, we have a knife, very similar to Commando Snake Eyes, except the knife isn't as long. It's a bit shorter. And yeah, overall, I think that this is really cool. And whenever I get whenever I touch this and I feel this molding, I think ninja. I can't help it. I immediately think ninja. I think all black ninja or something like that. They did it. I don't know how they managed to, but the texturing on this guy says ninja. I don't have to see to know this is a ninja. I can just feel that it's a ninja. And I think it's really amazing that they managed to do that. And I don't even, wow, just with the right appropriate, right amount of texturing and stuff, they managed to portray ninja. All right, now let's talk about his other release, Commando Snake Eyes. Now, a question I had, and I don't know if any of you have ever had this question, who don't have a Commando Snake Eyes or regular Snake Eyes, but the question is asked by me, and that is, are they the same height? Did Hasbro screw up and give us a Snake Eyes that's not as tall as Commando Snake Eyes? Because if you didn't know this, Ninja Snake Eyes is older than Commando Snake Eyes. Commando Snake Eyes was from his days in Alpha Commando with Lieutenant Stalker and Storm Shadow. After the war, he went to visit Storm Shadow's family and then became the Ninja Snake Eyes after studying under Storm Shadow's assassin family for a while. But here they are side by side. We see that, if you can't see, the heads are perfectly aligned. They're together. Commando's Snake Eyes' shoulders are a bit larger, but that's because he's got this thick shoulder armor on, so that makes him just a bit larger in the shoulders, at least in the tall sense. But for the most part, they are the same, and that is really cool. Except the body sculpts are a bit different. This guy's a bit thicker and a bit more of a Commando Snake Eyes is a bit more of a bruiser and thicker than Ninja Snake Eyes, and honestly, that kind of makes sense. Ninjas can't be big old bruisers. They do train to be more dexterous, and they go for muscle that's more lean. So we're going to set Commando Snake Eyes off to the side. And where is my final showcase person? Oh no. Where did you go? I lost you. Crap. Bat? Where's the bat? Where's the bat? I'm looking for the bat. Bat, 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 bat. Nuts. I misplaced the... Oh, found him. Found the bat. Found the bat. All right. Cool. Here's the bat. And like I've said before, we are now comparing everything to the bat on sizes, because eventually it's my assumption that every G.I. Joe classified collector out there will eventually have a bat. Maybe not this year, but by the end of this year, they should have enough bats. So the bat stands a full half a head taller than Snake Eyes. And there you go. Do a back and then a forward. All right. We'll set the bat off to the side. Goodbye, bat. That's all you were needed for. And final thoughts on Snake Eyes. I don't like the backpack. I think that the backpack should have had some changes to it. But for the most part, I love this body sculpt. And I got a Red Ninja in the mail, and I'm going to have to reassess. You remember whenever I told you guys that that I believed the Cobra Infantry was my favorite G.I. Joe classified figure so far. I just absolutely adore the Cobra Infantry. He's been usurped by Red Ninja. Red Ninja is now number 1. Number 2 is Ninja Snake Eyes here. Number 3 is now Cobra Infantry, and number 4 is Beachhead. But the 1 and 2 spots got overtaken. It used to be Infantry and Beachhead, but now it's Red Ninja and Snake Eyes. Very similar body types, but very different accessories and gear and stuff. And Red Ninja will definitely be the next episode that we discuss here on More Than Meets the Eye. So be sure to hit the bell that notifies you for future episodes, and keep an ear out, because I'm going to be coming at you next with Blaster from Transformers Legacy, and after Blaster will be Red Ninja. So keep your ear to the ground. Until next time, bye-bye.